It's your friendly neighborhood LoadedCrysis back with a brand new video as Studio Wildcard have been in a very big interview with PC Games N on the future of the game. This is really excited. Jamie Hall coming in with some magic as always, so big shout out to you, Jamie, as we look into the future of ARK and also some giant reveals in this post we didn't know before. If you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here as we dive into the future of what's going to be happening for our beloved game in 2026, 2027, and even 2028. Let's read this. Pinch me if I'm dreaming, ARK players, but what have I just read here? Studio Wildcard says it can shrug its reputation for missed deadlines and massively enhance ARK Survival Ascended with its new roadmap. If this ever happened, I don't know what planet I'm truly on. We're going to talk about that in another video coming up, but I mean, there's going to be some juicy information as I'm sure of it in this. So straight in with this. It was a rather chaotic end to 2025 for ARK fans. Not only did ARK Survival Ascended's stunning Lost Colony DLC arrive, the game's first all-new expansion that wasn't just a remaster of its existing Survival Evolved one, but a roadmap for the next 2 years of ASA's life was revealed. In with the heavily delayed ARK 2, 7 notable releases are coming to ASA, ranging from rebooted game modes to non-canonical surprises to major expansions that, like Lost Colony, build towards the eventual sequel. It all sounds tantalizing, and before the holidays, I got the chance to speak to Studio Wildcard's co-founder and development director Jeremy about all of this new content. But there was one big question I had to ask first. How realistic are the roadmap's release windows? As someone that's been creating ARK for 10 plus years, the company, I'm sorry Wildcard, you know I love you, but the release windows are the worst in the entire gaming industry. Maybe I'm being harsh there, but I don't think I am. I mean, I've done all-nighters, I do all-nighters, and, you know, DLCs are always delayed, everything's always delayed. We're used to it. We're used to it as ARK players, and if there was ever a chance in the future of that being changed, as I said, I don't think I'd be on this planet. You see, despite just sustaining one of the biggest and best survival games around, Wildcard has a bit of a track record with delays. The ARK 2 release date is of course the most high profile and disappointing, but ARK Survival Ascended's DLCs often suffer pushbacks or rushed, hectic, janky launches. Lost Colony was no exception. With many new experiences on the horizon, I posted that Studio Wildcard is getting a reputation for never smoothly meeting a release window the first time round, and asked Jeremy whether things can tighten up over the next 2 years. Jeremy goes on to say, I think getting is probably the wrong tense there, he admits. We've had that reputation probably for, I don't know, maybe the last 10 years, but certainly for the last 5 years or so. I think Genesis 2 was probably us really cementing our reputation, as our deadlines for us are more of a goal, an aspirational deadline, as opposed to something we absolutely hold ourselves to. What? What are you going on about, Jeremy? But I would say our trend has been closer. Look at the last 2 years. I think we've gone from missing deadlines by 3, 4, 6 months to missing them by 1 month, which is better. Okay, so I do agree. I've said this in all my videos. They have got better. They have got better with deadlines in ASA. But this was... What? Jeremy... I think Genesis Part 2 was probably us really cementing our reputation, as deadlines for us are more of a goal, an aspirational deadline, as opposed to something we necessarily absolutely hold ourselves to. But this is meant to be the release for your fans. Oh, Jeremy. Anyway, but I will give you credit because it has got better. And again, you know, you've only just been missing them by a month, but let's work that into no delays. Jeremy can see how things improving even further when it comes to hitting the launch windows laid out in Ark Survival Ascended's stacked new roadmap, which sets out plans up until the end of 2027, with Ark 2 now anticipated for 2028. So you guys have seen this before: Survival of the Fittest, Bob's True Tales, World Creator, Dragantopia, Atlantis, Bob's True Tales, Galaxy Wars, and the Legacy of Santiago. While a separate team, Studio Sirens is responsible for the reboot of PvP multiplayer spin-off Ark Survival of the Fittest, destined for Q1 of this year. Jeremy feels confident in the remaining deadlines that have been set. He says that Lost Colony is now in the hands of Wildcard's live support squad, while a separate team focusing on upcoming content has already begun work on the pirate-themed, non-canonical Bob's True Tales Tides of the Fortune, which Jeremy estimates will be late Q2 release. As for the ambitious World Editor tool, which follows in Roblox and Fortnite's creative footsteps and aims to make user-generated content much more accessible and less dependent on mods, he says Studio Wildcard have been working on this for some time. As a result, he is confident that a very early Q3 release in the summer could be on the cards for it. For these first 3 beats on the roadmap at least, Wildcard and Studio Sirens does appear to be making good progress. Okay, so, you know, so the Lost Colony is now in hands of Wildcard's live sports squad, while a separate team is focusing, a separate Wildcard team are focusing on, yeah. I also tried to pry some extra details out of Jeremy about some of these new expansions. When it comes to Survival of the Fittest reboot, he admits he's not directly involved as it's Studio Sirens project, but he does reel off a long wish list of features and improvements based on Wildcard's previous flawed attempts that he passed along to the Sirens team. And here's the good news: they're trying to do all of these things, he says. On the wish list are elements such as meta progression, a reason to play beyond just beating an opponent and climbing a leaderboard, background matchmaking to reduce lengthy wait times on lobbies, and a general refinement of the competitive sandbox. Come on! Okay, Dom, stop getting so excited. I know some of you guys, a lot of you guys don't care about Survival of the Fittest. I love it. It's just like a dream for me to be reading this stuff. Even I just please this time, Studio Sirens, I will take back everything I said about Aquatic. No, I won't. But still, I will be very, very. And then this says, I ask why Sirens, Wildcard, and Parent Company Snail Games are so keen in reviving Survival of the Fittest, given its past struggles in attracting and retaining players. I want it to be an optional way if you just want to fight your dinos fast, and maybe also get more used to some of the fighting mechanics of the game and learn which dinos can do well, Jeremy summarizes. If Studio Sirens can pull that off, I think it would benefit ASA greatly to have that kind of mode, so fingers crossed. The problem is with this is they need to make this, and I've said this all the time, they have to make this mode a separate part of the game. A separate download. They should not have this inside the game. Like, it's so obvious for this launch. If you want Survival of the Fittest to do well, make it free and make it a separate download on Steam and give it some promo, and it will do somewhat. It might not be the best, most popular battle royale out there, but it will. If you got it, you can't keep it behind the paywall of ASA, otherwise it will fail again. That's my personal opinion, but we'll see. As for Tides of the Fortune, the pirate theme and sailing mechanics will also massively benefit the ASA remake of ASE's Genesis Part 1 expansion, which features a water-heavy map. Genesis Part 1 will be released alongside Tides of the Fortune. Jeremy tells me that Dragantopia, which is billed for the tail end of 2026, is, as you expect, dragon-themed, but will be another non-canonical DLC. It's a DLC. It's been confirmed. It's been confirmed. Huge news there, guys. So, How to Train Your Dragon DLC. I know it's not been confirmed it's How to Train Your Dragon yet, but I think we all think it's going to be that, and it's actually a non-canonical DLC. This is good. And Atlantis, meanwhile, will be the first expansion of 2027 and is apparently being spearheaded by superstar Ark modder Nakatas, and Studio Wildcard has teamed up with him on a few occasions now, most recently with his Greek mythology themed Astraeus DLC. He's basically a modder who turned pro, so to speak, Jeremy says. So saying he's a one-person team... okay, the page has just crashed. It's because I'm getting too excited about all this stuff. Saying he's a one-person team is not quite the case, because he is very much supported by the Studio Wildcard team, both technically and artistically. But he largely does what he wants to do with these maps himself. He says that Atlantis will of course feel different to Ascraeus, but will share a lot of the classical themes, something that plays into Nakatas' creativity and visual strengths. With the Legacy of Santiago, the final expansion on the roadmap that's built for the end of 2027, Studio Wildcard will have another go at teeing up the narrative and previewing gameplay features for Ark 2. The recently launched Lost Colony felt to me like it was always something that was meant to be the bridge between ASA and its sequel, but with things falling so far behind on Ark 2, Legacy of Santiago will be Wildcard's second attempt. We're using it as a testbed for every risky feature we knew we would otherwise be doing in Ark 2, Jeremy says, highlighting the new third-person, Souls-like combat mechanics as one of the key things Wildcard wants to trial. We feel doing it in a live game is much more useful to us than doing it in an isolated, closed-off, sealed environment, and so that's what Legacy of Santiago is intended to be. It's us essentially testing all these crazy Ark 2 features, one at a time, over a period of time in a narrative world context. Should everything on Ark Survival Ascended's roadmap come together, it will be in an incredibly strong position if it can stick the landing time. Survival of the Fittest could be enticing, competitive spin-off experience. With World Creator, the game will be flooded with even more user-generated content, something that's helped sustain Ark Survival Evolved, even to this day, and by the way, modding and private servers. Experimental, non-canonical expansions can keep fans on their toes, while Legacy of Santiago can help ensure Ark 2 doesn't disappoint, something it can ill afford to do, given how long we've been waiting for it. However, I do also wonder if Studio Wildcard's approach in bolstering Survival Ascended and putting so many Ark 2 features inside it will actually make the new game feel somewhat redundant. Of course, there will be the draw of a new story, but I'm sure Wildcard will hold some things back. But its investment in ASA and its desire to use it as a testbed will see it grow into something that feels like an Ark sequel anyway. Well guys, the future of Ark is truly interesting, and I'm excited. I'm always excited, that's just me. I sometimes pull myself into a place that I shouldn't be excited for, and then I get disappointed. Will the delays stop? Will they start to finally hit things? Who knows? I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.